The year is 1973, and UFO sightings are capturing the nation's attention.
Quiet Mississippi town of Pascagoula, two local men confronted authorities with a rather bizarre story. Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker told of a strange craft landing near their fishing site and of being taken aboard by three unearthly creatures.
Pascagoula River in Mississippi is about to become a focal point for one of the most puzzling encounters. Today, we'll explore one of the most compelling and best documented cases of alien abduction, the Pascagoula encounter. And if you enjoy our content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to get updated on the latest videos from the UFO database. On the night of October 11th, 1973, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker Jr. experienced something truly extraordinary. The two co-workers were fishing at an abandoned boat launch in Pascagoula, Mississippi, when their lives changed forever. As the day's light faded and the night sky took hold above the river, they suddenly heard a zipping sound and saw a blue flashing light in the sky. Hickson later recounted to the Washington Post, "I was just getting ready to get some more bait when I heard a kind of zipping sound. I looked up and saw a blue flashing light. Calvin turned around too. We saw a 30-foot long object with a little dome on top. As the strange object hovered above the ground, three small creatures emerged, also hovering. The men found themselves paralyzed, unable to move or react. The beings grabbed Hickson and Parker with pincer-like claws and pulled them inside the craft. Once inside, the men were subjected to physical examination by something that resembled a big eye, with a constant mechanical buzzing sound. After the examination, the creatures released the men, returning them to the dark riverbank from which they had been taken. Hickson and Parker, terrified and disoriented, ran for help. They arrived at the Pascagoula Sheriff's Department, frantic and insistent that they had been abducted by aliens. Both men had puncture wounds on their arms as evidence of their otherworldly encounter. Despite the police's best efforts to find inconsistencies in their story, both men passed polygraph tests, and their accounts of the event remained consistent.
I'm all excited, upset, want to climb the walls, hysterical, crying. That's actually all I know is what happened. As far as me seeing what happened, I don't know.
Initially, sheriff's investigators thought that the men had been drunk or lying. They secretly recorded Hickson and Parker, hoping to catch them dropping the act once they were left alone. However, the men continued discussing their terrifying experience and the fear they felt. Jackson County Sheriff's Captain Glenn Ryder later admitted, "We did everything we knew to try to break their stories. If they were lying to me, they should be in Hollywood." Overnight, the Pascagoula encounter became national news. Hickson and Parker were thrust into the media spotlight, with news conferences and interviews becoming their new reality. A UFO investigator from Northwestern University even flew down to investigate and declared that their stories checked out. The aftermath of the encounter affected Hickson and Parker differently. Hickson, who was 42 at the time and well known in the community, embraced the attention and shared his story with anyone who would listen. He appeared on talk shows such as Johnny Carson and Dick Cavett, and even published a book in 1983. Parker, on the other hand, was only 18 or 19 when the event occurred. Overwhelmed by the attention, he initially told the media that he had passed out and couldn't remember the details of the encounter. However, in a 2018 interview with the Sun-Herald, Parker admitted that he did remember the incident but had been too afraid to speak openly about it. In fact, his fear led him to take a bath in bleach after the abduction, worried that the aliens had infected him with something. Following the ordeal, Parker left Pascagoula to escape the attention. He got married, found work in oil fields, and tried to maintain a low profile. If anyone recognized him, he would quit his job and move on. And despite their notoriety, neither Hickson nor Parker became wealthy from their story. In fact, Parker even helped pay Hickson's electric bills before his death in 2011. Some skeptics argue that the Pascagoula alien encounter could be a fabricated tale or a result of misinterpreted natural phenomena. Critics point out that Hickson might have experienced sleep paralysis, which can trigger vivid hallucinations. They also suggest that Parker, being young and impressionable, could have been influenced by Hickson's account and subconsciously adopted it as his own memory. Moreover, skeptics claim that the lack of physical evidence casts doubt on the story's authenticity. They argue that the case, like many other alleged alien encounters, can be easily dismissed as a product of overactive imaginations and sensationalism. On the other hand, there are some compelling reasons to consider the Pascagoula alien encounter as a credible event. Several factors make the encounter a plausible case for believers. Firstly, both Hickson and Parker passed polygraph tests, indicating that they genuinely believed their encounter was real. Additionally, the men's stories remained consistent over time, which is unusual for fabricated tales that often change as the teller struggles to remember the original version. In March 2023, as plans for a historical marker commemorating the event were being discussed, new witnesses came forward. These individuals claimed to have seen an unidentified flying object with flashing blue lights traveling along the Pascagoula River on the night of the abduction. They had kept their stories secret for decades, fearing ridicule and disbelief. Maria Blair, one of the new witnesses, told the Mississippi Clarion Ledger, "The story is very true. That's what's bothered me for 45 years. It's been on my mind for 45 years." Finally, the Pascagoula encounter is notable because of the emotional impact it had on Hickson and Parker. They both exhibited genuine fear and distress after the event, and Parker even went so far as to take a bath in bleach, fearing contamination from the aliens. This level of emotional response is difficult to fake, especially over such a long period. The Pascagoula alien encounter remains one of the most intriguing and well-documented cases of alleged extraterrestrial abduction. With new witnesses supporting the account, the mystery continues to captivate and inspire curiosity. As we ponder the possibility of life beyond our planet, the Pascagoula encounter serves as a powerful reminder that the universe is vast and full of unexplained phenomena. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and stay tuned for more stories that challenge our understanding of the world around us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get notified of the latest videos and updates from the UFO database.
If I understand it correctly, they ran one test on Mr. Hickson. The machine showed that he was telling the truth. Then they run another one. And then the examiner, he began to wonder himself. So he ran the third test, and he believed just what Mr. Hickson had told him.